Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and today it's tip and trick number 41. And as you may be able to tell, I have the same two items that I actually use for tip and trick number 40, but this is a different trick. This has actually got nothing to do with the stopper. But this is in relation to a way I like to work if I'm working on a painting with a fairly biggish section, but a painting that I have a lot of one colour to do. So whether it be I've uncovered a very big section, or whether I'm working on a painting that's actually got a background colour that's got a big block of it in the one colour. As many of us will know, the time that we spend putting diamonds into the tray and the time that we spend taking diamonds out of the tray is probably a very, very big, if not more time consuming than actually diamond painting. It takes a lot of the time out of the process when you could quite happily be dotting away. So what I do when it comes to having a big section is I do tip a lot of diamonds in. So I'm going to tip the rest of that pot in, which is more than enough for the tray, and in effect probably too many for the tray. But what I do is when I shake my tray, so I shake it more towards the end that I like to work from, and then I like to use the short end to shake it as well. I find my shakes can be smaller. And then I shake it more. Sometimes you can tap it on your hand if you find they're not moving. And I've probably filled that one a bit too much, but you know, I'm over showing. And then I tap all the rest back. So I do have a huge collection here that I'm not going to use. However, not going to use yet is the key. So what I will then do, if I can grab a pen, because, you know, visuals are always good. So I've now got all these diamonds here that are the right way round. And I like to work very close to the corner of my tray. So I like to work with about half of the tray. And then I actually tend to turn the tray around and hold it this way. But that's just the way I like to work. But you've got your tray. You get your diamonds, you go doing all your background. Once you find that all of these diamonds, and I'm trying to, because of course I'm not diamond painting, I'm trying to show what it would look like. So you've done a load of a section of your background, you've used up all those diamonds there. And then what I do is I knock the diamonds back and then knock them back again. So what I'm doing is I'm refilling my tray from these diamonds here. And the amount I tip in, this is probably a bit more than I would normally tip in. But it was just the rest of the bottle. But I will do that so that I have this big well of diamonds here. All these diamonds I can use. And then I can tip it, refill, tip them back, to the point where all I have is a layer of diamonds across my tray, and then I will use this half, and then I personally like to turn my tray around. It gives me a different way to hold it as well, so it's helpful on my hands, and I will then use this half of the tray until all the diamonds are gone. Unless, of course, I've finished the section, in which case I'll pop the diamonds away, or if I need more, I will then refill my tray, and depending on how many I need to do will depend on how many I fill it up with. But that's a nice way to shorten down your time if you're doing a really big block of one colour, is tip more diamonds in than your tray can take, as long as you can still leave yourself at least half of your tray to work with. The other half of your tray can just hold your stock of diamonds ready, and you can dot away and get through a big background block a lot easier that way. So I hope that was helpful for some people. Maybe not all. not all tips suit all, but hopefully that was helpful for some of you. And it's time for tip and trick number 42 we're on. And this is in relation to changing the tips in a diamond painting pen. So I do have 3 pens here. This is the one I got in my K-tiered advent calendar. This is a Diamond Art Club pen. And this is one of the pens that we sold as a limited edition. So this one's a bit thicker than the other 2. And I do have 2 pen tips here from K-tiered that I also got in my advent calendar. And they do come with little O-rings. In fact, let me see if I can get the... So they do come with little O-rings that can go over the tip. I do have them already on one of them, but I don't have them on the other. And I'm going to see how they fit in these sort of 3 pens. I also have raided hubby's toolbox, and I have a set of grips. Now, we don't want to use this part that actually cuts. I just want to use this part to get hold of the end of the tip, to be able to pull it out. Now, sometimes you can pull them out without it. So I know I've had these out before with my nail, just to get like hold of it. But I know these Diamond Art Club ones are tougher. So I'm going to see what it's like with the one with the O-rings first, because to me that would get a better grip. And it is going in, but I'm not sure if the O-ring is actually moving on them both. But what I find is I don't tend to use the grips on the actual metal tip. What I tend to try and find is something that I can push down on to push the tip in. Let's try this. So this is a coaster that I made, but let's try the underside of it. I'm probably going to go through some of the cork, but it's something that I don't mind if that has an imprint of the circle of the tip on it. So it needs to be something that may end up leaving a mark. So sometimes you could use a craft mat or something, a cutting mat or something, but you basically need something hard. I wouldn't want to do it on this work surface because I wouldn't want to leave a mark on it, because I film on it all the time. And that has actually gone all the way to the tip of the pen. So that one is in and secure. That one's done. So let's see how it works. That was with O-rings, so they're able to grip onto it. And that one is not coming out anytime soon. So that one's staying there. For this Diamond Art Club one, I do already have the tip in it instead of the brass tip. That is an everlasting tip. And for this one, I think if I wanted to take the tip out, I would have to very gently try and get this out with pliers. And what I would do is I would get hold of it with the pliers as lightly as I can, but then maybe try turning and pulling the pen to the point that I can get the tip out and of course the least amount of damage possible. And then I can still always pop that into another one. And then for the plastic, again, I'm gripping hold here and a mixture of pull and twist until it frees itself. So let's see what that's like. What's it like? Okay, so if I do it without the O-rings on this style tip, so this is a K-tiered tip, it just falls back out. Now, some pens will be tougher than others, of course. Let's see what this one's like. So again, just that one came out pretty easy. Okay, so without the O-rings, again, that one just slides in and out. Now, different manufacturers of these are different. So my everlasting tips do not have these little O-rings on them, but the K-tiered ones do. I've got two stuck together. So I'm just going to pop the O-rings on, which is always fun. So I've got my O-rings on, and let's go for the Diamond Art Club one. So again, I'm going to push it in as much as I can, but then to finish it off, I'm just going to push down on this piece of cork / coaster. You do sometimes need a bit of welly. There we go. So that is the tip in the pen. If you're working with non-metal tips, so for example, this straightener, then you can, with the plastic ones, quite often use a plier to sort of hold the tip and squeeze them in. And as long as I do have marks on the plastic, but it's not affecting my straightener edge. So that pen now has a metal tip and my plastic straightener. I was trying to think what it was called then. Plastic straightener. So the end of this tip is still in good quality, still in good shape, even though I've pulled it out of the pen. So I've popped my everlasting tip back in it. I'm going to pop that one in here, and again I'm just going to push down / twist. Is that going to go in? Yeah, just took a couple more. Just took a little bit harder. So this bigger one now has an everlasting tip in this end, but a plastic edge. I think that everlasting tip has gone in just a little bit too far. So let me just ever so slightly twist it round to move that one out a bit. There we go. So I have an everlasting tip in this thicker one, and I have two K-tiered tips, one in the K-tiered pen and one in my Diamond Art Club pen. So that's the easiest way to do it. To take tips out is get yourself a set of pliers and to push them down on a surface that can handle the strength of you pushing down. But if it gets marked, you're okay. What's actually happened on this one, can I even find which edge I was using? So some of it has actually popped back out because the cork's quite thin. I do have a very small circle here, which may have actually cut through the cork, but it's not damaged the actual coaster itself. And I can hardly, oh no, there's one there. I can hardly even see where some of the others are on this cork. But I recommend just using a hard surface or a surface that you don't mind getting damaged. And I didn't mind if that side got damaged because I have it that way up. For my bruise to go on. So that is today's tip and trick in relation to changing the tips on your pens. Hopefully that is helpful to some of you that have struggled. All pen types are different, so I cannot guarantee that I have come across, every sort of snag that you may have, but pliers do definitely make things easier. And I actually need to change this end as well. I have recently changed all the ends on my tips to be these short places so that they fit in my pen holder. And I just picked up a load of these 6 places. So let's try pushing it in and see if that works. And I think it has done actually. Ooh. Might just need a little, not on the placer part. I'm going to go on the part that, there we go. So I've grabbed hold of this base part rather than the straightener, because the straightener, I would like to stay as a straightener because that's what I plan on using it for. So those can now go into my pen holder for use in future diamond pens. It's time for tip and trick number 43. So this tip and trick is in relation to when you get a diamond painting, when a diamond painting arrives with you. Now, there are a few different ways that a diamond painting can be sent. You can get, let's have a look, let's grab one of these. So you can get a diamond painting that gets sent with all these baggies that are joined together that make up your colours for your diamond painting. Or you can get them like this one, which has come with all separate loose baggies. And what I do recommend with each diamond painting, before you sort of put it away in however or wherever you store your paintings, is that you check that you've got the right colours. So some of them may not have DMC numbers on the bag, but you can always go through and check that you do have. So for example, this one, while it has DMC numbers on the canvas, this one has 24 different colours in it. So what I would do is go through and check, one, that I have 24 different colours, but also that the colours pretty much match the symbols. So for example here, number 24 is a purple, number 23 is a yellow, you know, so you're going through checking that you've got 1 to 24 and that you've got, you know, the right colours pretty much. Because these ones tend to be done by weight, that is pretty much all you can do with that one. But you're taking the best steps that you can to determine that you have the diamonds you're supposed to, so that it can go into your stash and therefore be done when you're ready to do it. Now, some diamond paintings, this one included, takes a little bit longer, but in turn maybe a little bit more precise, maybe. Now, of course, there can still be mistakes, but this one comes with an inventory sheet. So it does tell me that I need 23 diamonds of 154. I've been sent a bag, and these bags tend to hold around 200 roughly. I have 10 bags of these, which would give me 2,000. I need 1,899. So as long as I've got 10 bags, I'm good. And then I do have one here that I need 48 bags of. But one of the things I like to do when I do get a painting like this is to check off that I do actually have everything I am supposed to have. So 3865, I have 2. Yes. And I just keep picking up the bags and doing it this way. So 762. Let's get hold of a couple more. 819. 1 bag. Quite a lot of these are 1 bag due to the design. It's a matter of shading. I do have more of these though, so I should have 10. So I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10. And then most of the rest of these, according to my sheet, will be singles, most of them. So that just says 74. And it won't be a 74. It's lost some of its number. Okay, so I think that is 3774, but I'm going to put that to one side while I cross-check off the rest. It looks the right colour, according to the colour of the sheet, and the numbers would match up if they'd all printed on, but because it's not printed on right and I only have 1 bag, I'm going to put it to the side until I've done the rest. So 414, 310 does say I should have 3, which I do. So let's do some of all these other individuals. So 154, gonna have a few of those left. 3371, 3799, 3727, 779, 451. Find the numbers, 3740, 535, which is up there. Do my last few singles before I get to my absolute loads. 316, 3713, 3042. That's another one. So that looks like it's 3756, 3743. So yeah, that one is 3756. Colour matches, number matches, but it's misprinted. And that one is 3774. Though in this painting, I need 2 of those diamonds. I think I'm going to have enough. And then 5200. Now for this seller, they have sent me individual bags. Do note that some sellers, so if they don't just put them all in one bag, some sellers may send you a bigger bag. I'm just trying to find one of my, oh, here we go. So this is one of my paintings that comes in separate bags, but it does also have some bigger bags. So just to compare, that is the size of one bag. That is the size of another. This bigger bag equals 5 of these smaller bags. So that has about 1,000 diamonds in. So if you get a painting that tells you it should have 48, but you don't, you have like 8 big bags and 8 small bags, for example, or maybe 9 big bags and 3 small bags, that still adds up to 48 small bags. Okay, so let's check we do have 48. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48. So I do have 48. So I can then safely put this painting away, knowing that as much as I possibly can, I have checked that I have what the seller tells me I should have. And then if I don't get to it for another year or so, then, you know, there still is a risk of there being missing diamonds, but you're never going to know that until you actually do it, because things can happen, even just such as dropping them, or numbers potentially being really close. So sometimes a seller you will need 199 diamonds and they only give you one bag because it should have 200 in it. And if it's not quite got 200 in it, you are going to be a little bit short, but we do what we can. So yeah, today's tip and trick is when you do get a diamond painting, whatever type it is, just check that you either have the exact numbers of bags they say you should have, or that you've checked off that say, so for example this one, I've got one here because I moved them into these bags. So check that you have the number 1 all the way through to the end, so that you know that you have at least the right number of diamonds. A bag's not got missed in production, something like that hasn't happened, and you don't find out you're short until a year down the line. Do that quick check and then pop it away into your storage until you're ready to do it. It can save some heartache. If I found I was missing any of these, I could get in contact with the seller now, give time for them to get them to send it out to me, especially if it's taken a while to get to me. It gives me time for that to arrive, rather than going to kit up a painting and being disappointed because some things are missing. So yeah, that's one done. I've got one more to do in round to check off, and then this one can be popped aside until I'm ready to do it. And today we've got tip and trick number 44, and this is in relation to making your own sort of stickers that you can use to then label up your pots. Now, not all diamond paintings come with an inventory sheet like this one does. So this one comes with a list of symbols and comes with a list of numbers already done for me. Some you do only get the canvas, and this list is detailed on your canvas. Now, I have been known in the past to cut that symbol sheet just straight off the canvas and use that to make stickers. You can also, if you have the ability, you can scan it or take a photograph and then print that out so that you can use that to make your stickers. But I'm going to be doing it today with my inventory sheet, getting ready for a painting that I will be kitting up soon. Now, I do use a paper trimmer for this. I have one from scrapbooking and it's there. So if it's there, I'm going to use it. You can equally do this with a pair of scissors, but I do suggest initially cutting your inventory sheet into one big long strip. I'm going to grab some scissors as well, though I have been cutting some foam sticky tape with this earlier on today, so we'll see how it does on paper. But I cut this down so that I am just dealing with the part that I need to be, or want to be, sticky. And then there are a couple of ways. I do have a favourite way of doing it, which is using my Xyron sticker maker. So I can feed this through and it will coat the whole of the back of this with lots and lots of tiny little glue dots, like really, really small dots all over the back of this, which will then in effect turn this into a sticker. But that's not something that everybody can have access to. Either getting hold of one in the UK can sometimes cause a bit of a problem. Also, it may be the initial cost of it. What you can also use is the likes of double-sided tape. So this huge roll of double-sided tape, for example, is £1, which could last you quite a few diamond paintings. And you can either do it in 1 or 2 strips, depending on how big your inventory sheet is. The only thing with this is you will then need to peel the top coat off each individual one as you cut it. So it is a little bit more fiddly, but it is definitely more cost effective to do it this way than necessarily with the Xyron sticker maker. But I mean, this one is quite a long, quite a wide sticker one, so this is best just going in the sticker maker as a whole sheet. If you find that you have an inventory sheet that's quite thin, then I suggest that you put 2 pieces in together just to save on wastage, or to prevent wastage. And once you've popped this down, you rub down over the top and peel it off. And what that does is you end up with all these, you can't even really see that they're dots, but they are very, very tiny bits of glue in the form of dots, so that it does stick to some, but not all. But they're so minute you could think it was one full sheet. But very, very thin layer of glue. This is what didn't go onto the back of my paper. And then this section here, there's no glue on that because it's all gone onto the sheet of paper. Screw that all up on itself and get rid of it in the bin. And then once you've got your sticker sheet, or you've put your double-sided tape on the back, then cut your stickers into individual ones. The last thing you want to do is be trying to get double-sided tape on the back of each individual sticker, or trying to feed each individual sticker through the sticker maker. If you have quite a lot of numbers, or say if you do have thin sheets that you can do 2 of together, then by all means do that to help your sticker maker go further. And then what I like to do when I cut through to make the individual stickers is I don't cut all the way to the end, because I don't want them scattered all over my desk. and not be able to figure out which way they should go. So I cut through all of them to nearly the end, but not fully the end. And I'm nearly there. Quite a few stickers to do on this sheet. But then what I have is individual stickers with a sticky back that can go onto each of my pots for me to be able to see the symbol. So the symbol I use because of course that is what is detailed on the canvas. So that's what I need. You know, I'm looking at the canvas, I'm looking at my pot of diamonds, and off I go. And then I keep the DMC number. This is mainly for kitting up and for de-kitting. So I need it for kitting up so I know which bag of all these diamonds needs to go in the pot. And then I use it for de-kitting so I know which DMC number it is for them to go out of the pot and into my spare storage. Many of you will have seen me do that on many sort of videos where I have kitted up a project. If it comes with an inventory sheet, it's my go-to. But I do want to let you guys know, you know, that you can use double-sided tape, which is a lot cheaper. You can use the inventory sheet or the ledger sheet off the canvas directly, or you can take a photograph or a scan of the canvas before you do it so that you can make yourself stickers each and every time. Tip and trick number 45, and this one is in relation to when you kit up for a painting. Now some of you may do this already, some of you may do it sometimes not realizing that you're doing it, and other times you might wonder potentially why you struggle. So I've got two different types of inventory sheets here. I did a tip and trick on this one recently. This is a painting that I may well have shown the video of kitting this up already. Depends on how my schedule works. But this inventory sheet, or this diamond painting, has made the symbols very easy for me. They are the numbers and then they are alphabet letters. So it's numbers and then it's letters. Even if I put these in DMC order, it's numbers and then it's letters. Now, quite often, if I have another painting, so for example, this inventory sheet, where I've got a number, some letters, a symbol, a number, some letters, and not in any particular order, quite often I will kit up in the order that they're given to me, in the DMC order. Now, it can be easier for kitting up doing it that way. However, the chunk of our time for diamond painting, while we do spend time kitting up and we do spend time de-kitting, the chunk of the time is spent placing diamonds. That's the idea. It also may be spent tipping diamonds out of a tray into a container and vice versa, but that is where the chunk of your time on a particular painting is spent. So why not make things easier for yourself and find yourself a pattern of storing your diamonds as per the symbol so that it works for you. I have had paintings where I use the bottle storage. Let me see, do I have an empty bottle storage container? I think this one is. She says it might have diamonds in it, who knows? No, it is empty. So the bottle storage or one's storage that has separate containers is great for this sort of system. So you can create yourself an inventory sheet, put all your stickers on in DMC order so that when you kit up you know where the diamonds are because they're in the DMC order, the number order. We can all work out that 153, for example, goes before 939, so it makes it easier to kit up. But when we're actually working on the painting, we've got a number 7, we've got a number 9, then we've got a number 3, then we've got an 8, then we've got a 2 and a 5, then we've got a 6, and in between all of those we've got some letters and some numbers and all the rest of it in between. So what is nice to do is get yourself a pattern with your symbols. Now, depending on what type of storage you're using, if you're using the likes of this bottle storage, you can do your symbol sorting out after you've kitted up, and then you can always put it back into DMC order to dekit. If you're using storage like this one I recently did an unboxing on, where you have 4 containers together, then you will need to potentially sort out your system beforehand, before you kit up, and you may have to look a little bit harder for the DMC number to put your diamonds in, but when you're actually doing your painting, it will be a lot quicker. So when I do have quite a lot of colours, quite a lot of symbols, I do like to arrange them in an order. So I often personally do letters first. So I like to do the alphabet first in order, followed by the numbers. It doesn't it doesn't upset my rhythm or my pattern necessarily to have them this way round. So when I'm kitting up this painting, I will more than likely do numbers and then letters, just because that is the DMC number order that it follows. But for the likes of this painting, I will fall back to my standard, which is to do the letters. So I will do A, B. If it's a painting that has a lowercase b and an uppercase b, I will do the uppercase and then I will follow it with the lowercase. And I will go all the way through the alphabet to Z. Then I will do the numbers, 1, 2, 3, however far it goes. Of course, if they don't have a number 8 or a number 3 and a number 3, for example, I will only put, of course, the numbers that are there. And then I will do symbols afterwards. If I have a painting that has a lot of symbols, quite often once I've done the letters and stuff, I will then start to group the symbols. So I will put all the arrows together. I will put anything that's triangles together. I will put anything that is, say, a keyboard symbol. So the ampersand, the percentage. I mean, most of these ones are keyboard symbols. We've got a euro symbol. We've got a euro symbol, an ampersand and a percentage in here, so I would put those together. If I've got a painting that's got a euro and a $sign and a pound sign, I will put those together, and they will be close to the likes of the ampersand and the percentage, so they're all together, but in with that I make sure that I group together the money symbols, so that they are quick to glance at. But if you get yourself a pattern with it, you will find that as soon as it comes to you looking at a symbol and going, oh, it's the letter B, you will know straight away that is right at the beginning of your symbols. Whereas you will know that if you've got an ampersand or a pound sign or a percentage sign, it's likely to be at the end of your symbols, and it will save you so much time, especially at the beginning of a painting, looking up and down to figure out where it is that the symbol is according to a DMC number that you're not looking at. When you're looking at the canvas, all you're seeing is the symbol, and therefore you're not, unless you pull up the diamond painting. So for example here, if I go, oh okay, I need the number 3, I'm not going to then go look over here to see that it's 316 to figure out where it is in my storage. This is up on my diamond painting. I want to go 3, I want to go to my case, I want to place my diamond. I want to do it all quickly, and that I find is the best way to do that. So try and get yourself in a pattern of how you like it to be. You may prefer numbers before letters. Whatever your pattern is, try and get a pattern that works and try and stick to the pattern wherever you can, because then you will automatically have that in your head every time you go to do a diamond painting. It's time for tip and trick number 46, and this is sort of more of a tip and potentially a reassuring tip than a trick. A diamond painting should know. Let's call it maybe one of those. And this is in relation to a black and white painting. So some of you may well have seen my video where I did unbox this painting, and I did give the tip and trick in relation to that at the same time. But I do think it deserves its own video, its own awareness for you all in relation to a black and white image. So whether that be a custom image or whether it be one that is ready designed like this one was on the website, you do need to realise that black and white does not just mean black, white and grey diamonds. It is not sort of, you've got black at one scale, you've got white at another scale, and therefore you go for all the sort of greys and light greys in between to make a black and white picture. There are actually very, very often more colours than black and white to make a picture, and quite often they will surprise you. So in this painting, for example, I did do a full unboxing of it, but let me just pull out the colours that will surprise you, I think, more so than the colours that may not. So we have a very dark green. Now that you could think is borderline. You may think that's a grey, especially when you look at it from a distance. It is a grey green, but when you get it under the light or near your light pad, you'll see a dark green and think, why is the dark green in my painting? We have blue in the painting, which again you might think, why have we got blue? There's another blue. In this painting we also have some pink, which you may think, okay, pink goes with skin tone, but why am I getting pink in a black and white photo? One of the shocking ones, quite often one of the most shocking ones, is when people have purple. Especially if you've requested to do, or you've sent off for a custom of maybe a picture that you've taken, a picture of a family member, a picture of a friend, family, whatever it may be, and you start getting purples and pinks and blues and greens. And I've also got another green, albeit a pale green, but that's still green. And then the remaining colours are greys, blacks, whites. There's a beige in there that you may think, okay, maybe I can cope with a little bit of beige. But they are your black, white and grey. That is what you would expect. These are the ones that you're like, they're maybe not right, especially when you start placing them down and you're looking at them closely. So for example here, when you're doing the hair, and you can see we've got purples, we've got greens, we've got blues, and it's like, but that's not the colour of the hair. Don't panic. Please don't panic when it comes to that. So here's a picture that I have completed with diamonds. It's not quite a full black and white. It is and it isn't. This front part is supposed to have a little bit of cream in it, but this part is supposed to be more of a black and white, and it looks black and white. This picture looks black and white when we look at it from a distance, and even when your diamonds are on, it will still look like a black and white. If I bring this one closer, we've got some proper purple colours in here. We've got some really bright purple in here. We've got some greens rather than that cream colour. We have got some blues in here. We've got some really dark blues. We've got all those. Even look in these benches, dark purples, dark blues, all mixed in with the greys. But when you stand away from it, that is actually what makes it look like a bench. You don't see the purples and the greens. It's the way the colours are drawn together to give that look of black and white. So if you're doing a black and white painting of any sorts, if you're getting a little bit, this doesn't quite look right, do the same as what my camera is doing. So take a picture, hold your phone right at the end of your arm and look at it from there. Does it still look black and white? And more often than not, it will still look like a black and white. Take a breath and carry on. It's time for a little mini tip and trick number 47. And this one is in relation to an item that we sell, but it may be relevant to some other things that you do in diamond painting as well. But this is in relation to our spare storage stickers. So some of you may have seen the video I did on Saturday. I have started setting up a completely separate box for my square diamonds. And then I already have a box set up that used to house both my squares and my rounds. It now just holds my rounds, and I'm doing separate boxes for my squares. So I've got the first box done in that process, and as I say, that video was up on Saturday. But while I was doing that, I did also give a mini tip and trick in relation to it. Now, this is something that was mentioned on the group by somebody that was doing their own storage. I actually can't remember who. It's been mentioned a few times now, so I can't remember who to give the credit to. But it's when working with the stickers. So I've done some of the boxes. I still have some sheets of full stickers, and they are pre-cut stickers, so you can just peel up the stickers and take them off. However, you can make the process just a little bit easier. So if you get hold of the corner of the sticker sheet, now sometimes it is easier to actually take one sticker off and then grab hold of the sticker sheet from there. But if you get hold of it and peel it back, so try to make sure that you don't let go so it doesn't land back on the sticker sheet. But peel it back so that you're taking off all of the sticker sheets and leaving all of the labels on there. And just keep pulling slowly, but not major slow, just to make sure that they all stay on. And then this piece of sticker, just let it all crumple up on itself. And what you find then is it is a lot easier to pull up the stickers and to see, you know, where the corner of the stickers are when you don't have that background sheet. And that will make your process of sticking your stickers onto your cardstock slightly quicker, slightly easier, and just a nice process all round. I do have one here where I have taken out some of my stickers already. So sometimes it can be easier to sort of grab it here and start pulling it off. Though I recommend, again, still doing that from the top. Because I'm doing that from the bottom, I'm of course ripping the sticker sheet because I'm not pulling it from one side. And that is just ripping up the sticker sheet instead. Whereas if you do it from one corner, ideally sort of fold it over on itself and then push the backing sheet out the way so that you just get hold of the sticker. And you may need to just pop out, I say pop, just remind a couple of stickers that they need to stay on the sheet. I often find I only need to do it with the first couple, and after that it's like the sticker sheet learns what it needs to do. And then apart from the part where I ripped it, the rest has all come off. And then you have a sticker sheet that is a lot more easy to manage and to pull the stickers off. that goes in there. Try and make sure that I keep them in order. I do tend to do it as I go along primarily, because there is a number on each sticker sheet. So number 7, 8, and then of course that one was 9. It can be handy to have that as a reference, especially if you're doing your stickers over a longer period of time. You wouldn't want to drop all your stickers and then have to be looking at all the DMC numbers to figure out which way. So quite often what I've done in the process is just before I've started a new page, I've pulled off the outer sticker sheet, and then I've done all of that one, and then when I've finished I've pulled up the next one. These are of course now done, ready for my next instalment of my spare storage, and I'll get them all stuck onto my cardstock at that time. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful for some of you if you are revamping your spare storage. It just makes that process just a little bit easier. You could also potentially use this if you have maybe a supplier that provides you with stickers for your diamond painting, provides you with ones with the numbers and the symbol on. You might want to take some of that backing sheet off first, especially if you're finding it hard to get hold of the little stickers. It might make it a little bit easier. And I've got a tip and trick number 48 for you. I'm also tying this in with sort of framing my Zesty Wolf. So it's sort of a tip and trick and a framing video all at once. But my initial thought for Zesty Wolf was to frame him in these clip-on frames. These are from IKEA. So it's 2 pieces of wood and you get a big clip, and the idea is that you sandwich in between, you sandwich in your painting and then push the pieces of wood together, and then you've got a hanging bar to be able to hang up your frame. But these were too long for Zesty Wolf. They're about 40 centimeters long, which if this was a landscape picture, it would have worked really, really well. But this is a portrait, so I found that it hung over too much either side. It was too much for me to be happy with. It really is a personal preference, but it was too much for me. So I did go having a look / have a browse, have a think, and you can also get these framing bars that are actually done by magnets. So they're really strong magnets and they clip together. And you can get these in multiple different sizes. So I got a set in 30 centimeters. Well, it's actually 30.5 centimeters it comes in, so it gives you that little bit of overlap that you might need. So what I thought we'd do is we'll frame Zesty Wolf as like a tip and trick of how you can do a quick and easy type framing. So I want to frame Zesty Wolf, of course, with the hanging frame at the top and at the bottom. The one at the bottom not only sort of finishes off the frame look, or the hanging frame look, but it also helps with weight. So you have the weight of this bar at the bottom, which helps to, of course, keep your canvas flatter because it's got the weight. And these work for posters and things like that just as much. Now for this, I don't need my sides. So I'm going to grab some scissors and cut off the sides. And I'm going to go as close to the black line as I can. Really, I want to get rid of the black line, but I do have some diamonds very close. So I'm going to go slow and steady because this is going to be visible. And of course, if I put this up in my craft room, which is my plan, it will be going on a white wall, which means the black line around the edge is likely to show more. So I just need to be careful when I'm cutting it, try and fold the canvas over so that I can see where I'm cutting. Now in the past I have tried cutting a canvas before doing it so that I could, you know, completely get rid of the black line. Oh, that was so weird to diamond paint on. It felt so wrong. It really felt so wrong not having an edge to it. I feel like it does need even a little gap if you're going to do something like that. So I think there's just down here, I wasn't paying as much attention. So let me just see if I can snip off the bit that is starkingly black. And I'm trying to avoid, of course, cutting or popping off any diamonds. So it isn't necessarily the fastest process. When I'm putting these in my display book, I stick them onto a piece of black cardstock, and sometimes when I frame them, I stick them onto a piece of black cardstock, so I don't have to be as fussy about the black line, because it melts into the black cardstock and you can't see it. But I'm just going as slowly and carefully as I can, trying to make sure that my scissors are the right side of the black so that I don't have it showing, and that will give me my edge to my painting. Now of course this painting will not be behind a piece of glass or acrylic due to the fact that it's not going inside a frame. If, you know, you're hanging this up somewhere, you know, or maybe you've got pets, or whether you're hanging up somewhere where it's got lots of activity, or, you know, is a thoroughfare where in effect dust will raise up a little bit more than it might do in other areas of your home, you may want to seal it beforehand, just to make sure that it keeps as clean as possible. I missed a huge bit here, so I'm just trying to cut the other side of the diamonds. I haven't got hold of it properly, that's not helping. Just to get that little bit of black off, just so that it doesn't show up too much. And you could of course keep the extra part on and cover it with washi tape or something, if that's what you like to do. But I like to cut it all off. So that part's done. Now I do need to leave some of the top and the bottom so that I have something for this to actually grip onto. And having a look, okay, so I want it a little bit shorter, so I'm going by this Facebook logo. That's where I'm going to cut it off on the bottom, and then I'll have a look on the top. And if I've not cut enough off, I can always cut more off afterwards. Oh, I've cut off the Admiral sets. It's a good job I know where this was from. Okay, so let's see if this works on the bottom. So we want one piece of it underneath and then one piece on top. Now these magnets are really, really strong. There we go. So I've just lifted it up a little bit, shoved it up a little bit just to make sure that it's got the diamond painting in it. And it does. And then for the top section, I want to go just above my line of washi tape. And the washi tape was put there just to stop the little overhang of glue picking up bits. We'll chop that off. And then I actually want the hanging part behind because I don't want those knots to show on the front. As I say, these magnets are pretty strong. There we go. And give it a little bounce. And yes, the diamond painting is staying in. It did move just a little bit, but I did give it a good bounce to check that it's going to fit. And there we go. That is a nice, easy way to frame a diamond painting. Of course, there are a few different manufacturers that do these frames, so do make sure, you know, that you try them out just to check that the magnets are strong enough to go through canvas, because they are primarily made, these are primarily made for posters, which is paper, which is thinner than a canvas is. But ideally you want your top and your bottom of your canvas to be what is sandwiched in between the bars, because trying to get it to go through diamonds will be even trickier. But yeah, that is one way that you can frame your diamond painting. Quite cost effective, quite cheap really. It was only a few pounds, I think, for this bar, if I remember rightly. I think they were about £4 or £5 for these IKEA ones. They work on a clip system, so you would have to sandwich them. You might have to have a little bit more messing about to squeeze those in, but they do those in 2 sizes. It's called Visbak. So this one is 40 centimetres. I think I also have one that's 60 centimetres. Because this one doesn't use magnets and it uses clips that are very stiff already, I think these will potentially have a better grip on your canvas. So these might be better if you have a really big canvas that you want to frame. And of course it does depend on the style of framing that you want. This one I have gone for black, which sort of brings out the black outlines in the Zesty Wolf. But if you have a painting that doesn't particularly have black, or maybe your home decor suits the wood better, you may find that the IKEA ones are better for you. But Zesty Wolf is framed, done and dusted. So yeah, I'm going to find a nice place to hang this in my craft room to remind me of December Advent, where I got it finished. For tip and trick number 49. Nearly halfway, guys. So yeah, tip and trick number 49. Now this was one that was mentioned in a comment on one of my other videos. It was actually another tip and trick video. So I did a tip and trick video the other day in relation to taking the outer part of your sticker sheet for the DMC stickers, to take the outer part of it off, so that it's easier to get hold of the individual stickers. So that was a tip and trick in itself, but somebody did mention, and I don't know why I've never thought of it before, but in relation to when you have used up all your stickers. So here is one, I've used it all up. Now this can then be used as like a cover paper. Now you do need to be careful with this, because the opposite side, so in effect the back side of the sticker sheet, does not have a coating on it. So if you stuck this onto your glue, it would act like paper. However, the side that had the stickers on is made to be able to peel back. So what you can do, if I go on one of mine, is actually make sure I turn it over. So you do need to, as I say, beware with this that it only works one side. But you could create yourself a cover sheet or cover paper if you decided to chop this down. You can create yourself cover paper out of your sticker sheets that have been used up. How simple and effective is that? You know, if you are watching the pennies or want to, you know, be frugal even, why not? You can always use the sticker sheet paper to create a cover paper for your diamond painting. And I'm lifting it up a few times just to show you it does work multiple times. You do just need to make sure that you're using the right side of the sticker sheet. So you may want to put like a big X on this side in some sort of pen or pencil, so that you don't put that side down on your diamond painting. You could get quite arty and draw some sort of pattern on here so that you could, you know, have a nice top coat in some sort of pattern, but it can work very similar to cover sheets. It's not as thick as a cover sheet, but it works in the same way as a cover sheet, and it hides part of your design until you're ready to do it. And then you can either peel it back, or of course if you cut it into sections, you can remove a section as and when you go through your painting, if you don't like these clear ones. Now these clear ones, you can also, again, while you can stick it the other side down, it does stick more. It doesn't peel up anywhere near as nice, and it can, and it has been known to peel up the glue. So do be careful that you don't make the mistake with the opposite side of a sticker sheet. But that's another option for you to be able to cover up your diamond paintings while you're working on them. I mean, this one is a very small one. If you had quite a few of these big sheets, they might work really well on a large painting, especially if you like to cover the whole thing. On a large painting, I use the cover sheets and I just tend to cover 2 rows. But these sheets would be fantastic because they're A4 in size and they're thinner. They are more likely to roll with your painting. So if you did want to cover a huge painting with opaque-ish sheets, then maybe sticker sheets, or the back of, would be the best one for you. I might keep hold of, once I've finished doing my spare storage, I might keep hold of the back part of these sticker sheets and actually use them on some of my larger paintings to cover up the full section that will then roll up with the painting, because as I say, they are thinner, and it might keep the whole rest of it a surprise. I may still use cover sheets as I get closer and closer, I'm not sure yet, but I am going to keep hold of them because I think they do have a place, and I do think they'll be very useful to keep hold of for should that situation arise. So there you go, that is tip and trick number 49. Thank you to the subscriber that did leave the comment with that idea, because we all like a nice little way to maybe save a penny or so, sometimes due to need, sometimes due to want. Tip and trick number 50. This is in relation to working with special shaped diamonds. So we're talking diamonds that are long and thin. We've got bigger ones. We've got hearts. I mean, there's all sorts of ones in here. Teardrops as well. So it's in relation to picking those up if you like to work on a special diamond painting. Now, this tip and trick was suggested to me by a subscriber, but she had seen somebody else do it. So I don't know where the original, if there is somebody to accredit for the original, but I thought I would pass on this. I have been known to use it occasionally in the past, but I haven't used it for so long, it really did not enter my head. But one thing I do suggest, if you are working with sort of different shaped diamonds, whether you use glue dots or wax in the tip of your pen, I would try and make sure that, especially if you're using wax, you've topped it up. It is not sunken into your pen as much as either flat or sticking out a little bit, whatever that may be. The reason being is quite often these shapes, especially the likes of this big heart, you can actually pick that up with a piece of wax if the wax is flat or sticking out a bit. If the wax is concaved in because it's been picking up the small diamonds that it's designed for quite a while, you'll find that there's no actual wax on the surface or on the flat side of the pen to enable you to pick up a bigger diamond, to place that down wherever you need to on your canvas. So that's one thing that can help pretty much with any size if you are working on a special diamond painting, is fill up your pen. Make sure that your wax or your glue dot is either as flat as your pen or sticking out a little bit. Go gentle, but it gives you that surface area that is needed to pick up the special diamond. The other thing is use your multi-placer. So especially for these long skinny ones, you've got more of a surface area that's actually got sticky to pick up that diamond. Can work on the big ones as well. Again, it's something that I suggest you've refilled recently, but you've got a lot bigger surface area there that is sticky, that is, you know, able to pick up these chunkier diamonds or even these smaller ones that are longer. You've got more of an area where you can have the glue stick to the diamond enough for you to be able to pick it up. I mean, that one I've picked up upside down, but it's to give you the idea that no matter what the size of the diamond, a multi-placer gives you a fatter area, which means you can pick up a fatter diamond, and that could help you if you really like to do the likes of special diamond paintings but just cannot get on with tweezers, which some people can, some people can't. I'm not so bad with tweezers and the big ones. I do struggle a little bit more with tweezers and these tiny ones. Let me pick it up sideways. I don't know if you can even, oh, there we go. Can you see the size of that on the silver? And there are some that are even smaller than that, but they're a very, very weird shape. Sometimes I struggle with those with the tweezers because you press too hard and kaping, and off it goes. So that is today's tip and trick. Make sure you are loaded up with wax if need be, with a multi-placer and on your smaller tip, and it'll be a lot easier to pick up the diamonds. You may find that you need to fill up a little bit more than you usually would, especially if you're flipping between the normal size diamonds that will push the wax in and the bigger diamonds where you need the wax to be sticking out or flat a little bit more. You may find that you have to top it up a bit more. But if so, if you are really struggling, try a multi-placer. This one's a 4 multi-placer. You might get away with it with a 3 as well. Just give you that bigger surface area of sticky to help you out. But there you go, that is the tip and trick for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.